Um, but yeah, it just sucks, man. But hey, he created his own bed, so now he has to lay in it. That's what it boils down
Yep,
to.
that's what it is.
So the other fuck nigga that we're gonna bring up, Tory Lanez. Now it came out that he told Megan the Stallion to dance before he shot her in the foot. Now this hasn't been confirmed or anything, but do you think like as more comes out, because I've always said like as we get the trial actually happens and more comes out, it's gonna really affect the way people look at him. I know they tried to cancel him. Again, you can't cancel somebody who doesn't give a fuck. But what do you think is gonna ultimately happen with Tory Lanez? And as more stuff comes out, does it make you look at him even more sideways than what you did before?
No, I'm actually going the opposite way because this hasn't been confirmed,
Okay.
and I've also seen other things that went against Megan. The thing that I'm going to
Uh
do
huh.
is treat them the same. I'm not a Megan Thee Stallion fan. I'm not a Tory Lanez
Mm-hmm.
fan, but I can say that those two make good music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like most of it, but I like some of it. And most recently, his
Okay.
recent project is better than that Rick Ross shit. I'll say that. I'll save it for later. But no, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait because this is the thing. This is what we do. This is what we've been doing. Is that when something is said, we get a story from somebody, whether it's confirmed or not, we hop on one side. Of course, nobody wants to be on the side of a nigga that harmed a woman. We get that. But then
Yeah, for sure.
there's things that's not confirmed. You know what I mean? And we know those two had, I don't know if it was an official relationship or an entanglement. They was cool with each other. Okay. Then it was some words back and forth, just that and the third. It was a lot of fishy things going on in this situation, and I'm not so quick to hop on one side. Actually, I'm not hopping on neither side because if it come out that she was lying, it's gonna be the same energy. I just want to see how many niggas are gonna step up and actually apologize, which I don't think is gonna happen. Now, if it goes against him and he was lying, then rightfully so, get all the slander that he's supposed to get. But I don't like the narrative that people create because they don't like a certain artist for whatever reason. I don't. That's not me anymore because I've come to learn or to like a lot of people's music that I don't necessarily I'm a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait. And it's easy for me to do it because I don't care for neither one.
I feel it. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like,
Bro, if it come out that she was lying,
if then her career needs to be over. Let's be clear. If it
but
comes
it's
out that
not
she's
it's
lying, it's not going to
but it's
be. But I'm saying all that hate that people have towards Tory Lanez, if it does come out that she's lying, they need if they don't give her that same energy. This is why I don't rock with cancel culture. This is why I don't rock with the social media outrage because that shit it's funny how like the people are ready to jump the gun, right? When it's that first response, but then when it comes time to backtrack, as more information comes about, they don't fix their original outrage, and it sucks, man. That's just the age that we live in. No accountability.
I'm gonna go as far as this. If it was the no jokes, no pun intended. If the shoe was on the other foot,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the outrage would be as large. Why? Because she has a much larger fan base. Point
Mm.
blank, period. You know what I mean? And he is one of those. He has one of those personalities where people don't really connect with his ego or his cockiness, and I get it. I understand that. Um, Yet and still, man, we're talking about a mega superstar versus I'm not sure what category you want to put Tory Lanez in because he is popular. You know what I mean? But he just
Yeah.
doesn't have the brand that Megan has. You know what I mean? She got endorsements. She got deals. They want her to be the Beyonce of rap. You know what I mean? So it's like that come out that she was lying, that's gonna hurt her brand a lot. You know what I mean? Whereas he's already lost something that never really took off like how it was supposed to be. He was the one that was holding this down during the pandemic and the
That's
peak
true.
of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it had he didn't have a machine behind him. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of look at stuff like that. At the same time, these celebrities got personal relationships that we don't know about. We wasn't in a huddle, so we don't know what was going on. We wasn't there. Other people was there, and I've seen people post uh, other information that came out from the other people that was there
Mm-hmm.
that goes against her. So it's like,
That's true.
man,
That's
bro,
true.
I'm leaving it alone now because I can already see where it's going. But shout out to both of them. Like I think she recently just graduated.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
got a sauce named after her. You know what I'm saying? He's still doing this thing. I know he was one of the first cast to get into the NFT game. He just dropped that 80s version album that slaps. You know what I mean? So yo, shout out to both of them, man. But whoever is lying, whoever comes out being a liar, you know what I'm saying? You got to lay in that bed too. And somebody pointed out something uh against him, which I was like, well, what if it goes towards Megan? They was like, even if he is found out not guilty, that doesn't mean that he didn't do it. So I'm like, man, y'all are really trying to cancel people for no, like, I don't get it, bro. I don't. I'm leaving it alone. I'm leaving it alone.
I mean, that's all you can do, bro. That's all you can do is leave it alone at this point. But all right, let's move into more positive news. Marsha Ambrosius uh, finished her new album with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre says this is a big quote for him. Dr. Dre said that this is some of his best work, bro. This is Dr.
I mean,
Dre, a legend.
I mean, they all say that, but I would honestly say, all right, I believe him because he probably. I mean, look how long he's been in the game, and look how long he's sat with. Um, he's been sitting down for a long time. You know what I
True,
mean? So
true.
I could get it. I could get it. I'm gonna be anxious to hear that though.
Yeah, I mean the thing is too, like you got to keep in mind back in the day when Dr. Dre was working with R&B singers, man, he was making some of his best work, especially like just the way they. I'm excited to see an R&B album produced entirely by Dr. Dre. I ain't gonna lie.
That is a good point. That is, and not only R&B artists. We talking about one of the
Yeah,
elites.
an
You know what I
amazing
mean?
vocalist. So, yeah, this album
Yeah.
color me excited. I didn't even know that she was working with Dr. Dre. You had put that in our group chat, and I was like, yeah, that automatically gets on the list for sure because that could be notable, bro. That could whenever it drop, well, probably next year. That could easily be. I could see being the best R&B album of next year for sure.
Yeah, and let it be known that it's not just having Dre on it is definitely must tune in immediately and listen to, but she could drop with just about any producer and we're
Yeah,
gonna check it out
yeah,
because she's that good. Now, and I'm not even a fan like that. You know what I mean? I got songs here and there from her, but I'm not a huge stan like that. So, yeah, and I
yeah,
love R&B too. Oh man, I love me some R&B, and I'm the one that believe that R&B really belongs to women.
yeah. It should though, right? It should.
I think no, I'm
Yeah,
saying the
no, I
best
agree with
music
that.
come
I
from
agree
women.
with that. Yeah, yeah. So shout out, Casablanca is the name of the album. Definitely looking out for that. Hopefully it's a great album and lives up to these expectations. Me and you are laying down for it. But you know what? I don't know. Is anybody even checking for Marsha at this point? Like it's been so long. It feels like since she dropped some music.
Uh, well, to be honest, like are we're not checking for anybody outside
Yeah,
of K Dot and maybe Dre. You know what I mean? I'm talking, and I'm talking about it as far as the world because so much music is accumulated, and it's just so much projects and music that's put out there on a daily basis. Is like we're not really checking for anybody, but we are surprised when certain people drop. So we not
yeah.
necessarily waiting on anybody, but it's like we are
For
happy
sure,
that
for
they
sure.
did drop. So
Well, talk about something that didn't drop. Big Boy, big statement here. He says he has the greatest Outcast documentary, but it's locked in a vault. First of all, why would you do that? Yeah,
he probably
true,
waiting
true,
on the right
true.
numbers
And I wonder if,
because you got to think like they know that that a doc is going to.
yeah,
You
for
see what
sure.
Wu Tang is doing right now. We've been waiting on Straight Outta Compton, the movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these legendary groups, bro. You're not about to undercut us with this type of content. We already know this type of content goes a long
Yeah.
way. So he
Well,
probably
and
just waiting on the
I wonder too
numbers.
because like recently, I don't know if you watched this or not, but Val Kilmer came out with basically a documentary. And it was like this, all this footage he recorded. Like he was like one of the first people with a personal video camera. Like it was back behind scenes of like these great movies and just him goofing off and being with actors and shit. I wonder if a lot of this documentary is just footage that they recorded on their own, because that's the best type of documentaries to me.
That's an
You
NFT,
got a fucking
sir.
point. You definitely have a point right there. So yeah,
You know what I mean? So maybe Big Boy could be
yeah,
waiting on
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, that's you.
You
You.
know?
I didn't think about the NFT thing. You absolutely right, man. And it's.
Because that Val Kilmer shit
Did you
is
watch it?
like that is gold right there. No, I haven't seen it.
Man, listen.
I'm just now hearing about that. But I've known people that's
Mm-hmm.
not as famous as him that has been doing that since the 90s, but they
Yeah.
kept all of their footage. You know what I mean? On cassette tapes, VHS tapes, DVD, converted it to DVDs, etc. That is
Yeah, and especially
gold
when we
right
live in a
there.
time where we talk about owning your own, right? Like the fact that like Val Kilmer basically had a whole movie produced off footage that he shot himself, bro. You gotta know he's getting probably 80% of that shit, bro. So like,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
that
real
that is what an
documentary.
actual, yeah, you're right, what an actual documentary is. So like, yeah, man, I can't wait for it to be released whenever he decides to let that motherfucker out the vote. I'm gonna be one of the first people to watch that on whatever platform it's on, because that's legendary right there.
Yes, even though I don't have him as one of my top
Oh yeah,
Batmans.
Val Kilmer, no, he can't
Absolutely.
be one of the top Batmans. But I mean, but yeah, the movie was dope though. The documentary was dope for sure. Like like I said, I can honestly say I wasn't even the biggest fan of Val Kilmer as an actor, period. But I'd be crazy to say that he didn't work on some amazing films with some amazing people, and like to see like him behind the scenes with Top Gun with Tom Cruise and that cast, like back in the day. That's just crazy, man.
Hey, the point is,
Exactly,
we
true,
know his
true.
name though, right?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. But shoot me that.
All right, cool. I'll
I
shoot you
want to
the
see that.
link.
I want to watch that. I probably
Um,
watch that
so
tonight.
that's it for news. Let's get into these albums. We got 2 albums to review today. First of all, making it through this Alicia Keys. I did not know this was going to be a double album before it came out. Did you know that?
Yes, because
Okay.
I
See,
watched the Drink
I
Champs.
wasn't prepared. My mind and my body wasn't prepared for that. But I will say, I enjoyed the album more than I thought I would have. I'll get into my thoughts here in a second. But Baylor, what'd you think about Alicia Keys' album Keys?
Let me tell you the truth, okay, bro. My wife, my wife cannot stand as an artist,
Damn.
cannot
Okay.
stand Alicia Keys, right? Like seriously, and my daughter bothers her about it all the time. Um, I'm not on that level, but I was not interested on listening to the
Mm-hmm.
album, although I did. And then I do know the difference between you can
Yeah, yeah,
call
that's
it a
what it
double
is.
album, right? Yeah. Sound wise, I get it. But I there's nothing that moves me at all. Nothing. There's nothing I took like, you know what, this track is kinda nah, man. Now rookie,
She had one of
Alicia.
the, she had one of the
Oh
best
man,
rookie and
top
sophomore
tier.
years in of that era for sure. This
Yes.
I don't I like the album overall. Let me say I like the album, but I really feel like we've gotten into this era where like I guess because they own all their own music or whatever, and it doesn't have to be printed up on CDs that they feel comfortable drop. This album needed to be cut down by over half, bro. I honestly think if you cut this down to probably the best 8 to 9 tracks, you'd have a very good album. There's just too much shit.
I agree. I agree with you 1,000% because I think anywhere between 9 to 13
Mm-hmm.
tracks on an album is perfect. The problem is, I've come to realize just hearing these interviews, they don't know which one is the
You're
perfect
right.
song.
You're right, and that's what we're running into now. Where it used to be like, keep in mind, that's why I said because they don't have to be printed on CDs. Because back in the day, a double disc was rare because the manufacturers they didn't want to pay to have a bunch of double disc printed up. So it forced artists to cut down their track listing to the best tracks and a few skits. Nowadays, I think because artists are so
Mm-hmm.
in love with their own work, right? They don't have. I don't know if they don't trust their executive producers. I don't know if the executive producers aren't speaking up. Whatever it is, somebody needs to be in their ear and be like, look, we don't gotta drop all these songs. Like I get that you love all these songs because you put you. I'm sure they put their heart and their soul into it, but at some point, you got to think about the brand. And all these artists dropping all these motherfucking songs, like, and if it's not needed, right? Like King's Disease, for example, I want some more of that. That could add 2 or 3 more tracks to King's Disease too, if he had them. But this, it just felt like
Mm-hmm.
it felt like an artist who couldn't step back to evaluate their own art honestly and be like, all right, these 5 tracks need to go.
Yeah, yeah, but at the same time though, like for us to because we really listen to music, and more so often we rock with the B
Yeah,
side
for sure.
tracks more than the singles, right? And partially because the singles would get played out, or they wasn't that good, or something like that. And then you go listen to the whole album, then you find out that track 8, track 13 is fire or whatever. But in their head, they might not know because what we come to find out is that a lot of these artists, most of them are like sensitive when it comes to their craft, as they should be, because
Yeah.
the whole world is critiquing it. You know what I mean? So I guess they feel like, well, we just we just overloaded. You might get a better response than sending them a few tracks here and here and there. And I don't know. I guess saying that a double album isn't good is better than saying, a 9-track album
Yeah.
isn't good. You know what I
Bro, but
mean?
this so
So
side 1 is 50 minutes alone. Side 2 is 43 minutes. 26 total tracks. Come on, man. Like I
now, if you think I listened to all of that, you're no, no. What I do on a normal,
mhm.
and I do this with any artist, even my favorite artists, is that if I don't have time to sit through it, I'm going to sit and listen to the first couple of seconds, even maybe a minute or something, to see how it sounds and then I might skip through
Yeah.
it and see if it developed or whatever. Because I did that with King Disease too, and that's how I found out Rare beats switch up a couple of times. I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Then ran it back. So I don't know, but you did come up
What's
with a
that?
topic though. You did come up with a topic. If we haven't discussed it already, because I know we have a plethora of episodes, we're going to talk about the
Ooh,
best double
okay.
disc
Because Mike
albums
is
of all
definitely on
time.
that, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But yeah, man. Overall, I do like what she tried to do. Right, I do like that. Basically, all of side 2 was produced by Mike Wilmade. It had a completely different vibe. I understand what she was trying to go for, but I don't feel like the execution was there. But the music itself, like I, I almost are at the point now where I feel like Alicia Keys needs to challenge herself by working with somebody completely different. Because the first side 1, yeah, side 1 being
Thank you.
produced by Keys, it's like more like you've been working with him your whole career. Like we need more than that.
Hey, yo, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, give me step outside the box. Go
Mm,
call the dream.
I like that.
You know what I mean? I need something. I need something different because look, hear me when I say this, Alicia, because I know you listen. It's not about the talent. Like that woman can sing and she can play the piano at the same goddamn
Mm-hmm.
time. Still beautiful. You know what I mean? But it's like the music is not. It's just not doing it for me.
Yeah. Something. It just feels like something's missing. I don't know what the people like. Maybe if I go back and listen to it in a different headspace, it'll be different. But it just I don't know, man. I listened to it 1.5 times because there's no way I can listen to that much music 2 times like I try to do for the most of our reviews, especially when we had 2 albums to review this week. But I mean, it's cool. It's cool. That's what I'll say. It's not. I know it probably sounds worse than what it is by the way I talked about it. It was a cool album. It was cool, but that's all. That's the only way I felt about it. I wanted to feel more than that coming from an Alicia Keys album.
Hey man, look, whoever wrote the diary track, go find them.
I
I
feel
need
that.
more
I
of
feel
those.
that. Next album, Rick Ross, Richer Than Ever.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but this didn't hit at all. I got don't get me wrong, and
Oh
we said it
man,
though. We said it last week, like, yo, we know the
and
Benny the Butcher
that did
track
not
is gonna
disappoint.
hit. But look, I'm even
Yeah.
I it didn't disappoint, but I'm still disappointed in that track. it was a sound quality for me
Yeah.
though, Hayes. It was a it just didn't pop to me like that shit. It like my hair didn't stand up off my arm. No, none of that. The verses was dope.
Yeah, yeah,
Rick
yeah,
Ross
yeah.
gonna talk his shit, man. Rick Ross make he make you feel like he makes
For
you feel
sure.
like royalty
For sure.
in
Yeah.
Gotham City. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it just didn't hit. I'm not a Rick Ross fan, but I know what he can do. And that's what I was looking for, bro. I didn't get it. I'm sorry, I
See,
didn't
and
get it.
but
It's like it
here's my
just didn't
problem
hit,
with this
man. It
album is
just
that
didn't.
when me and you talked about it last time, we said that I think we both were in the mind that we usually take our two tracks from a Rick Ross album for the most part, and those two tracks bang. To me, I love the Benny the Butcher track. Benny did his thing on it, but this just even the production to me didn't feel like at the level that I'm used to Rick Ross production being at. Man, this just
Yeah. And you want to know what's crazy? I feel like majority of the world knows that because I don't even hear Rick Ross talking about it.
yeah,
No, like seriously, like no jokes aside, and you came up with another topic too. But I don't hear him talking about it like and if for it to be named like this, like yo, let me just say this. He's top five
for
in
sure,
naming
for
his
sure.
albums. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was a disappointment. But we're gonna talk about featured artists that
Okay,
don't
all right,
miss.
I like that. I'm writing it down.
Cause Benny the Butcher, that dude,
You know what?
that
Who's
dude
gonna make
don't
that
miss
list?
at
That's
all,
surprising. Well,
man.
because I don't. Again, his own albums I don't really care for outside of the tracks, but Lil Baby does not disappoint on the feature. Like,
I got you.
but we'll
I
talk
got you.
about it when we do that
Got you.
topic. But yeah, overall, richer than ever. This album felt like it was made in quarantine, bro. It really felt like that's the best way to describe it. Like he has a studio in his crib and he was like, I'm locked in the crib. Let me go ahead and make this album. That's what that felt like.
No, no, real talk. And the cool part about it is we don't know how long some of these tracks has
That's
been
true.
sitting in the vault. You know what I mean? So I at least shoot him bell on that one, but bro, like you gotta he gotta be better. I ain't been hearing nothing. I don't know if it's because of the wing shortage in America. He ain't talking about
He do
Wingstop.
got a new Wingstop
He
commercial I
talking
saw a
about
couple days ago. So no,
the
it's a different one
thighs
than
when
the
he talking about the
thighs. It's like
thighs.
a new sauce or something they got.
What was it?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, nah, but nah, man, I don't even like. He know when he got a hit. He know when he got something. This thing gonna be all
yeah,
on the social
yeah.
medias.
Shit's crazy, man. So do you want to do the TV shows? Or do you want to wait till the whole team's here for that?
Damn, man,
Yeah.
I don't want to do him like that. I don't want to do him
Okay.
like that. We'll,
All right.
we'll
So
wait. We'll
this is
wait.
this is what we're gonna end it in. Since we don't have a final topic, this is just me pulling it out my hat. Baylor, what have you been listening to? What are
Mhm.
some of the songs and tracks, albums, whatever you've been listening to?
I honestly, the whole album,
Mm.
the Tory Lanez album.
Okay.
And hear me when I say this. I am not a fan, bro. I am not a fan. It's kind of like the whole LeBron thing when LeBron first came to when he got drafted with Cleveland. Like, bro, I'm full LA Kobe. You know what I'm saying? And this album, and I've listened to all his projects. And I've out of all of his projects, I may have maybe one or two songs on my out prior to this album dropping. A lot of people might know that I love the whole vintage retro type of feel, look, etc. He said he was coming out with an
Mm-hmm.
80s theme album, and that nigga over delivered to me. When I tell you, I wish this album would have came out. I mean, I guess we could. I guess what November and December albums we
No, we're
consider for
considering for
next
this
year
year.
or what?
We're gonna.
Because I
So basically, Rick Ross and Alicia Keys are the last albums. That's where the cutoff is for our end of year review. So right now it's December 15th. Anything that comes out after this is not going to be considered for our best of the year categories.
oh wow. Well, I'm just gonna come out and say this. I'll save the suspense, but he's definitely up there
Okay,
with this album.
you think so?
Me personally, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are not gonna rock with it because I love the sound. I
Okay.
was born in '82, so the sounds that he used, the samples, that he used, how he used. I mean, we know he's a
Mm-hmm.
big sampler. We know that
Yeah,
between him and
that is
Kanye,
fact.
god
That is
damn,
fact.
you know what I mean. But I've never heard him use a sample and didn't deliver. Now, that's me because you got to understand, I don't listen to him like that. Have I listened to all his projects? Yes. Now, that's just me saying I'm not a fan of him. But
Mm-hmm.
the songs that I took, like they were all sampled, and he did a good
I
job.
feel that.
So this album right here is a short album, very short album. Um, and I took there's 4 songs that I have on repeat. The rest of the album is solid, but those 4 it really holds the album. I'm like, yo, this shit sounds fucking
All right.
good.
Well, I can't hate on you for that. What I've been listening to, bro, and this, I was thinking about making this a topic, but again, you guys would have to like go back to his catalog too, unless you're just ready for the conversation. But I've really been digging back into Big Crit's catalog, and I need a better explanation on why people don't mention him with like he should be in the rung right under Drake and Kendrick. I mean, right under
They don't
Kendrick and
listen to
J Cole.
they don't listen to music like you. They don't listen to music how you listen to music though, Hayes. People don't listen to music how you listen to music. That is a real authentic artist. That nigga makes good music, and guess what? That nigga is better than
That's what I'm
most of
saying.
the niggas
But,
in the game. But you want to know
bro,
he's not
I'm going
marketable.
back
He's
listening
not
through this
marketable.
catalog, man, and I'm like, I can't remember. It was a random Crit song that popped up on a playlist, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't really listened to like Crit music in a minute, so I'm like in the house doing my thing. I basically add all of his albums to a playlist, and I just let it play. I put it on shuffle, just let it play all the way through. And keep in mind, my 13-year-old daughter is the other music head in my family. And she was downstairs listening to me too. And she was like, Dad, I don't know who this is. I was like, you don't know who this is? And that's what made the made it come to my mind because I'm like, Crit is a monster, bro. Like content, his production is usually
Monster.
always good. Like Crit is crazy, bro. And the fact that like people don't mention him up there
If
is bananas. Like people mention Big Sean higher than Big Crit, and I can't get with that, man.
you know why you can't get
Yeah,
with that, because that shit ain't even. That's not even. If you put them niggas in a room together, that nigga Crit
yeah,
coming out
for
like
sure.
5 seconds later. He is better than most mainstream artists. We already know this, but he's not marketable. And Crit, I know you watch the show, I know you listen to us. Hear me when I say this. I'm not talking about you can't be marketable. I'm saying that your style of rapping, your content, they not gonna put it out there because these youngsters don't listen to that shit. They're not gonna listen to it. Unless you have a
Uh,
little baby, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, on the hook or
Crit,
something
Crit,
like that.
and we had this conversation a long time ago, but maybe we forgot to mention Crit when we talked about rappers who would have been huge in a different era. And by huge, I mean if Crit would have been in the '90s, the early to mid '90s, he may have not had the mainstream success, but people would absolutely know he's a legend. In the same way they mention groups like UGK, yeah, and Scarface, absolutely,
Scarface.
absolutely.
He to me he would have been and hear me because I want to give him his own lane, but yeah, he would have been up there with Scarface. He would have been a second
Definitely,
Scarface 2.0
definitely.
or something
It's
like that.
just, man, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like when I sit back,
And crit, if you come out with a project called
you
Scarface
need your
2.0,
residuals.
I need something because that's
And
a
he
hard
he gotta have Scarface
that's
hosting the
a
album. Like have a couple of skits with Scarface on
oh yeah, absolutely, man. We
it.
gotta get it. Hey, yo, cut it, because these ideas, yo,
Man,
hire us
absolutely,
now.
absolutely, bro. But
Man.
all right, last question before we go. So Jay-Z made a few signings when he first retired. There's 3 ones that are key, and one of them we just reviewed his album. He signed Rick Ross, Rihanna, and J. Cole, all legends in one way or another. Whose career
Yeah.
who do you think had the best career out of those 3 artists in
Am
order?
I doing it in order? I'm going to go Rihanna,
Okay.
Rick Ross, J. Cole. Now this is why.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we already know why Rihanna. because
Yeah.
she went beyond music, right? But she had to start somewhere. I'm going to say it's a close, second and third slot between Rick Ross and J. Cole, is because Rick Ross actually went through. He actually stood the test of
Mm.
times versus 50, which a lot
Okay.
of artists couldn't. You know what I mean? He had a big hit with the CO thing. You know what I mean? He had the beef with 50 and things like, but he stayed consistent, and then he went beyond music as well. J. Cole, um, honestly, if I wanted to be real, he probably has. Well, I wouldn't know, but he just seems a little bit. He doesn't deal with the headaches of being
Mm-hmm.
an industry artist. You know what I mean? So, but he's still well known. Like, we was tapping into his basketball games. You know what I mean? So he's beyond music as well. I just feel like if we're going to stay with inside the industry, Rihanna used her platform to get beyond music to where she doesn't have to make music anymore,
Yep.
but people are fiending for it. Then you talk about Rick Ross, like I said, he had to go through his trials and tribulations that went against his character in the rap game. And then you got J. Cole, who went from being a starving artist to a professional basketball player in
Yeah.
another country. So that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I had to rank it. I had to rank it those three as far as Rihanna, Rick
I
Ross, and
think
J.
I get
Cole.
with that ranking. I think my fandom of J. Cole aside, you do have to acknowledge the business minds that Rick Ross and Rihanna turned into, right? Outside of just music, when J. Cole really doesn't have much outside of music, at least that we don't. We'll probably at some point find out that like J. Cole's like a master investor or some shit like that later in his career. But I think for that, and then
Oh,
Rihanna, like you said, she's goated. She hasn't released an album in 5 years, and that album's still in the Billboard Top 200. That's crazy.
wait. You know what? You just see you doing it again. I gotta switch
Okay.
Rick Ross with J. Cole.
Okay. Uh huh.
And it's still close though. It's still like 1A, 1B. But I'm putting J. Cole up there because he actually put an album out with no features.
Ooh. And are we
And he
giving
has a
him any
cult like
credit for the fact
following.
that he produces his own albums as well?
Yeah, now we did, and look, this cool part about it is we compared
Yeah.
him to the Tim
Yeah.
Duncan. Tim Duncan of rap, but nigga, Tim Duncan was good. you know, you know what I mean. So, yeah, no, it's a tight race, but I'm gonna put J. Cole second. And honestly, if I wanted to pick a career out of all those three, I would probably pick J.
I feel that.
Cole's. Even though Rihanna ended up being a billionaire, J. Cole it just seems like he has like his mind is
That's
free.
fair.
He has a cult like following too. You know what I mean? He could, if he wanted to, and wake up tomorrow and say, "Look, I want to drop a clothing line," it's going to sell. If he drops an album, we're going to listen. You know what I'm saying? If he goes and play baseball, we're going to watch.
All right. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, but hey, either way, just those three alone, and Jay Z went on to do so much more business wise after that. But those being his first three major signings as moving from his career as an artist himself was fucking is amazing.
Hey, Jay Z fans out there, since y'all like talking about him so much, this is one thing that y'all don't mention. Jay Z is going to go to any and every Hall of Fame because he's going to get artists
Mm,
into the Hall of Fame.
mm. Facts. Facts. All right. Any parting words or anything, Baylor? If not, go ahead and give him your social media.
Yeah, King Disease one
Oh,
and
bro.
two,
Speaking
banging.
of, I
Still,
just ordered both of those on vinyl. So when they come,
ooh,
I
I'm jealous, and I meant to send the group. They had the
at
Chronic
Target.
vinyl at Target.
Did you picked it up, right?
At Target, I'm gonna send you the picture. I did
Oh
it,
man.
man. I did it. I did. And look, just the cool part about it is I almost did over my wife's Christmas present, but I didn't. I couldn't do it.
Well,
I
yeah.
couldn't do it. I'll get it. Look, if I deserve it, I'll
There
get
you
it.
go. There you go. That's it. Give them your social media. Did you do that already? No, go ahead.
at Baylorism on Twitter and at Baylorism on TikTok, at Baylor the Great on all other
Man, you still
social
haven't
media
got your original
platforms.
Twitter page back? Is that not happening?
I no, I'm gonna get it. It's just I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm lazy because
Oh,
I got to
okay.
go through the whole process
Yeah.
of getting it back. You know what I mean? Because I've heard stories of how long and drawn
Okay.
out it is. I'm gonna get it
There
back.
you go. You guys can follow me at CEO Hayes, CEOHAIZE. Follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, thebreaksradio@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so at 614-547-2039. We are the #1 podcast for the culture. And this week, we out. Peace.